thinking about it as well. So I have a lot of experience in financial services. I spent 14 years working in investment banking, and there is a broad spectrum of adoption of technologies, right? So usually industry that is mature will have legacy technology that is core or foundational to their business. So if you think about capital markets, for example, or banking, often the more customer facing technology, such as your mobile apps or retail websites, or even front end trading systems, they will be built on modern technology stacks because they are front office, they're customer facing. Like I said, there is a demand for more modern experiences, so they have to keep evolving. But the foundational building blocks are very important systems, such as settlement systems, right? So basically, what happens when a trade is done, when you buy or sell a share, there is a whole set of settlement stuff that happens behind the scenes, um, which often still runs on legacy systems because this is not visible. You get a trade confirmation on your broker's website or your broker app, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that is happening behind the scenes around the moving of the money, the settlement, the anti-money laundering checks, whole bunch of other stuff that is going on, and that is often still run by a number of very old, in many cases, legacy systems. And for example, in the UK, over the last 5 6 years, there have been a number of very public outages of these systems because there is a lack of talent who can support these like mainframes in many cases. Like IBM still generates a huge amount of money from their mainframe business because these things are used for exactly these type of applications. So when we think about the so again, so even within one sector, within one industry sector, depending on the type of application, there is a variety of states of the there's a variety, very wide variety and a big diversity of the type of technology that is used and where they are in that modernization continuum, right? So there's not like a very, and in some cases like airplanes or airlines, it's very similar where user facing stuff is quite modern, but the actual underlying booking system that is used is quite old, but very performant, right? So often that is the challenge, and then modernizing these huge old systems is a massive lift, and a very risky project, which are often doomed to failure and can be very, very expensive. Um, there, so yeah, I mean, there isn't a very clear industry specific segregation, but often like the segregation happens is okay, what is user facing? Where do we need to invest to modernize the application? And often it also might be just down to risk, right? What is a more secure way of doing business? There might be regulatory concerns too, where a new law comes in. So in the US here, for example, they have things such as FedRAMP, which is a set of guidelines that any application that is used by the federal government must follow. So when it comes to making decisions around your infrastructure or technology, you also need to take into account external factors such as regulatory concerns, the availability of support, like we talked about, and so on as well.